coups, riots and currency chaos, sometimes it's hard to keep the faith in emerging markets. Here in Bali, Uluwatu Temple stands guard at the edge of the Indian Ocean. For the last 2 days, our speakers have cast an equally watchful eye over unfolding events here in Asia. We opened the conference with political forecaster Manu Baskaran, who gave us the inside track on Asia's newest Prime Minister, Narendra Modi.
This is a new India. And if this man has one genius, it is this ability to debottleneck things, to look at the mass of issues surrounding a project, identify the critical areas where action can be taken, and to take those actions. And I think he can do that.
I agree that things will be looking up. Just that I'm just concerned that the expectations of India's progress may be a bit too high, and there'll be a bit of a disappointment if things don't come out to plan.
From India to Indonesia and yet another election, Douglas Ramage got to the bottom of this complex economy, reassuring investors that the investment story will continue long after the political intrigue.
Does it matter who wins? No matter who wins, both these candidates are going to be more decisive. Policy, it's the biggest bane of investors. The policy is not consistent, it's not enforced regularly, but ultimately, policymakers seem relatively pragmatic, which has prevented people from leaving the market. You know, what don't you see in Indonesia? You don't see these headlines in the Financial Times about big multinational company X decides to leave Indonesia because they can't do business here. We've seen those headlines for companies leaving China, we've seen them for leaving Vietnam, we've seen them leaving India. Big examples, we can think of several. Not for Indonesia. No one's left. This is also what the government keeps saying back to us. Well, you're not going to leave.
The most comforting thought, I think, from this presentation is that, there's no huge risk in where the election is going to take Indonesia to. And I think that gives a lot of assurances for investors.
Mountaineer David Lim closed the conference, challenging us to rethink our perception of danger.
So in the sense that the prefrontal cortex, being the rational part of your brain, can be trained to a point where you're hardwiring your brain to behave when a response of fear kicks in. Whatever you do in fund management, the dangers are always present, but fear is more often a choice.
Whether you're investing or overcoming your biggest fear, risk is everywhere. But so are the rewards. It's just a case of mind over matter.